Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos will break down everything on the way. Plus, school districts are warning about a new TikTok challenge, how the trend is leading to damaged property, and the first American Pope in the history of the Catholic Church. This is News 6 Mornings.
Good morning. You made it to Friday. It is 7 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer.
I'm Justin Mormouth. Trooper Steve watching the roads on this Friday. The roads could be wet. We did have a few issues looking okay, though, on this Friday. First, though, speaking of the weather, Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos with a weather alert day. Well, listen, we need it.
I know.
I've been enjoying it. I know a lot of people have been enjoying it. Their yards certainly have been enjoying it.
Yes.
The severe weather aspect we don't enjoy, we don't need.
Not,
but
But
comes
have it
with
all.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, as we play it safe, come inside when you hear the thunder, and don't be playing out when the hail is pelting. At the end of the day, though, we've been okay when it comes to any damage and things like that. So although we've had those severe thunderstorm warnings, plenty of them, poor Julie for the past couple of days, I've been sending all the severe weather on her side of town, right? Listen, we're going to be still talking about some pretty heavy rain over the next couple of days. Already within the last week, we've had some significant rainfall, and I tried to kind of pick out locations from all across Central Florida. So we have Flagler, we have Orange County, Seminole County, Brevard County, just kind of showing you that the majority of Central Florida, although some areas haven't seen as much rain across western zones, Sumter and Marion County, the rest of us, though, we've slowly been picking up that rain. Now we need that to continue, and it looks like we are going to be turning a drier corner next week. But before we get there, we do have kind of a big finale to deal with on Monday. Looking at the severe weather risk for today, we're under a level 2 out of 5 for most of these Central Florida, meaning today, again, we are designating it another weather alert day between 4 and 10 o'clock. The impacts of yesterday will be the same for today. Hail, gusty winds, lightning, as well as that torrential downpour. We'll have more details, though, on the timing of today's rain, a look at Mother's Day forecast, and again, a big change in weather in the weather on Monday coming up in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
Well, the sun is up, traffic is moving, and that's a good thing, right? I-4 out here by the attractions. This is I-4 and 536. 535 area, nice and clear. So this is the part of the I-4 and beyond project. When you see all this mess out here in the median, believe it or not, one day we're going to get express lanes out here, believe it or not. And it's going to push us all the way out towards 27. Right now, downtown Orlando, you guys look good. 436, Goldenrod, Curry Ford, even the Mills area and Orange Avenue as you headed southbound. OBT, John Young, Oak Ridge, pretty clear this morning. And if you're headed towards the airport, both Sand Lake, and then if you're headed east on Sand Lake, turns into McCoy, all clear. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. A crime alert in Seminole County after a local pastor is arrested, accused of sex crimes against kids.
And this morning, police are issuing a warning that there could be more victims. News 6's Mark Lehman following this story live for us this morning from Sanford, where that pastor worked. And Mark, police say the victims were members of his church?
Yeah, according to investigators, this pastor used his position to take advantage of 2 young members of his congregation. Now, police say the crimes took place inside the church here, although it appears any sign has been taken down and there are curtains covering the windows. So yesterday, Sanford police announced the arrest of 33-year-old Yerson Solarte. The pastor of the Pool Pentecostal Church was taken into custody in Virginia while believed to be on a family trip. Solarte is facing sexual battery and molestation charges after allegations surfaced that he assaulted 2 girls. The first report of an inappropriate relationship was made on April 10th. Investigators say the encounters happened at the church, which is in the back corner of this shopping center off 1792 near State Road 417. Detectives say Solarte inappropriately touched 2 young members of the church and sexually assaulted one of the victims. He's since been removed from his role as pastor. Following the arrest, Sanford Police Chief Cecil Smith released a statement saying in part, people like this are a special class of criminal who use their position of trust to prey on innocent victims. Solarte is now behind bars where he belongs. Now, the chief also expressed concern that there may be more victims, and anyone who has information on that is urged to call police or a crime line. Meanwhile, Solarte is now in the process of being brought back here to Seminole County and booked into the Seminole County Jail. For now, reporting live in Sanford, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thanks. Meantime, a Marion County substitute teacher is facing charges accused of inappropriate behavior with a student. 24-year-old Diana Lee Torres was arrested Wednesday. According to an arrest affidavit, a student came forward saying they saw her massaging another student's head during class at Horizon Academy at Marion Oaks. Investigators say they later discovered she had been messaging students on the chat app Discord and later admitted to being in a relationship with one of them. According to the school district, she was removed from the classroom as soon as the investigation began.
New this morning, we now know the names of 3 people arrested after a bank robbery in Ocala ended with police opening fire. Investigators say Randall Williford walked into the TD Bank on Southeast 17th Street yesterday, showed a gun to a teller, and then demanded cash. He got away in a pickup truck along with the 2 other suspects, Amanda Bishop and Andre Baker. The trio is then accused of leading police on a chase that topped speeds of 90 miles an hour before the suspects crashed into a retention pond along Merricamp Road. Investigators say that's when Williford got out holding a handgun, forcing officers to fire.
He was told several times by officers to stay where he was and drop his firearm. Instead, he raised the firearm and he was shot.
Investigators say Williford was not seriously hurt. All 3 suspects facing charges of robbery with a firearm.
New this morning, the latest challenge going viral on TikTok is leading to a warning from local school districts. It involves purposely damaging school laptops, but the way it's being done could also lead to a dangerous fire. News 6's Angie Casada live in Osceola County this morning. And Angie, it's not just a problem here locally.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, this TikTok challenge is sparking concern at schools just like this one all across the country, where now it's involving district-issued Chromebooks, and some students are intentionally damaging school laptops, and now school officials are warning parents. It's the latest viral challenge. Videos on TikTok showing students burning, breaking, and otherwise destroying their district-issued Chromebooks, all in the name of online fame.
Well, they're for educational uses only. They're not no toys.
One of the most dangerous challenges encourages students to insert metal items into the USB ports of their school-issued computers. Then it creates sparks, smoke, and even possibly spark a fire.
No, do not do that, please.
We spoke with our News 6 IT analyst, Marquise Dickens.
Once they stack the battery, it's basically going to cause it to either flame up or cause it to blow up.
In a message sent to parents, Osceola's district is making it clear this kind of damage won't just disappear. In their message this week, they say, parents, we need to bring your attention to a concerning you TikTok challenge. If your child is found to have participated in this challenge, you will be held financially responsible for any damages incurred. And it's not just the money. Students caught damaging school property could face severe disciplinary actions, including suspension, expulsion, and even criminal charges. Something school leaders in Orange County are also warning parents about, sending this message saying these actions are extremely dangerous and could potentially cause injuries to students or staff. Now, school officials are urging parents to speak with their children about the risks of following these dangerous social media challenges before it's too late. It's just not worth the hype. Reporting in Osceola County, Angie Casada, News 6.
Angie, thank you. Well, what a moment it was. White smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel yesterday, and then about an hour later, a new pope emerged to lead the world's 1.4 billion Catholics. And for the first time ever, the pick was an American. Chicago-born Cardinal Robert Prevost will go on to be named Leo XIV. He was chosen on day 2 of the conclave. He greeted the crowd of thousands by saying, "Peace be with you all." And one of the people who's been watching every moment of this rather closely is the Pope's new brother. He lives down in Southwest Florida. He says seeing his brother picked was nothing short of a surreal experience.
It was like, oh my God, it's Rob. It's never going to be the same. What are we going to do? Oh, yes, it's Rob. Yeah. He knew from an early stage he wanted to be a priest. And he did. Got out of grammar school, went right to the seminary.
All right, so Pope Leo is the youngest of 3 brothers. He attended Villanova before being ordained in 1982. There is a new candidate in the race for Orange County Mayor. Commissioner Myra Uribe announced that she's running to replace current Mayor Jerry Demings, who will be term limited. In a press release announcing her candidacy, Uribe says her top priorities will be higher paying jobs, more affordable housing, and better transportation. Currently, 2 other candidates have also filed to run, Clerk of Courts Tiffany Moore Russell and businessman Christopher Messina.
Turning back to the weather now with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Storm chances, they're going to stay high not only today, but possibly through the weekend.
Yeah, and then even into early next week, and then we're going to shut off the rain and bring up the heat. Big time. Taking a live look outside. Daytona Beach sky cam right now. It's warm. It is muggy. We're in the upper 60s, low 70s. We have tons of available moisture in place, which will help temperatures heat up into the low 90s potentially. Feels like temperatures, though, will be into those mid-90s. Then we talk about rain chances after about 2, 3 o'clock, where the sea breezes come together. That's where we will start to fire up the rain and storms across our inland zone, stretching basically from Marion County all the way through the coast. Although I know some folks haven't seen much rain, like in Brevard County. I know you guys are still kind of in those little dry pockets out there. But look at our storm pin sent in by Javier yesterday. You can see his lawn is all sprinkled with some of that marble-sized hail. We're going to see another round of some strong to severe storms that could, produce a lot of lightning, a lot of rain, the potential for some of that small to medium-sized hail. Flooding could be a concern, especially where the collision zone is, because rain doesn't move much. And we've been racking up that rain considerably across parts of central Florida, where we've had already about more than 2.5 inches of rain in many locations. We're going to tack on another 5 to even 7 inches of rain when this is all said and done. We'll have more on that and look at your Mother's Day forecast in just a bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
That's a lot more rain when you say it like that. Like if you think of how much we've already gotten.
It's not widespread, but some of those isolated amounts, yeah.
Right, yeah, no. Bring it on. I-4 downtown Orlando. This looks great. The sun is shining, not a cloud in the sky. I say that, and then half the screen's covered in a cloud right there. It doesn't look like a cloud. Look, I'm not the meteorologist. 21 minutes right now. Seminole to downtown Orlando on I-4, which is really nice. And then just some slight delay out there here and there. We're actually cleaned up pretty nice. International Drive, Central Florida Parkway, checking out very good. And then a little bit of a slowdown right now, bottom of your screen, northbound along the Florida Turnpike right now as you approach US 192. But then you're going to clear Osceola Parkway, and you're good to downtown Orlando. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. The time is 7:12 on your Friday. A new nonprofit linked to one of Central Florida's oldest attractions.
Coming up, the new program Gatorland is launching and what they're hoping to accomplish not only here, but around the world.
But first, a new trade deal between the U.S. and United Kingdom. The compromises made on both sides and what the president is hoping to do now.
A new trade deal between the U.S. and the U.K., the first since the Trump administration instituted those sweeping new tariffs on countries around the world. While the president's 10% baseline tariff remains in place, the deal does scale back the levies imposed on British cars, steel, and aluminum. So in exchange, the British are opening up their markets to more American goods.
It's been a deal that was, we thought, very complicated. It became very simple. It's opening up the country that we really didn't have the kind of access to that I would have thought. I was surprised.
The president went on to say that he hopes this will be the first of many deals with trade partners around the world. The U.S. and China set to negotiate tariffs in Switzerland this weekend.
And the Trump administration has rolled out a multi-billion-dollar proposal aimed at modernizing the nation's aging air traffic control system.
I think our country, our people, those who use the airspace, they deserve this moment in time to actually deliver an air traffic control system that's going to keep them safe, that's not going to have them delayed for 4 hours or their flights canceled, a system that works for them.
That's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing the plan yesterday. It includes replacing old equipment with new fiber and wireless technologies at thousands of sites and the building of 6 new air traffic control centers. The announcement comes amid multiple days of delays at Newark Airport in New Jersey due to staffing issues and an outage last Monday.
New this morning, longtime Central Florida attraction Gatorland is starting a brand new nonprofit. The goal here is to continue protecting alligators while also ramping up education about the reptiles and how to live safely near them. News 6's Stephanie Rodriguez is live with what this means for the park and its conservation efforts worldwide. Stephanie.
Justin, Gatorland Global was started in 2018 to create a world that loves and respects all animals. Of course, the iconic gator head outside of Gatorland here is where I'm at. Now they're going to be expanding their reach and their efforts to protect alligators and crocodiles by becoming a nonprofit.
It's been the conservation arm of Gatorland Orlando for a while now. We've been working really hard and trying to take on new tasks and new projects, and so we are officially a 501c3 now.
The now nonprofit Gatorland Global focuses on rescuing nuisance alligators and puts on crocodilian conservation programs all around the world.
Hey!
Savannah Bone, the international ambassador for Gatorland Global, travels to places like Australia, Jamaica, and Cuba, helping with research efforts and teaching people how to coexist with these large reptiles.
They need educational programs for schools, for little kids, for businesses, and things like that.
As a nonprofit, they can now apply for grants. Money Bone says they'll use to expand their reach.
For us to have a big conservation entity called Gatorland Global will give us more exposure that way and also allow us to maybe work in some other countries that we're not working in right now.
Their mission statement is simple: protect, conserve, and educate.
Talk to me about the importance of education when it comes to living with these wild animals and being safe around them in their natural habitat.
Be careful, be aware of your surroundings as we are right now, and just, you know, do the best job you can to coexist with all the wildlife.
Great advice right there. Of course, we are in alligator mating season currently, which does mean that the gators are more aggressive as they're out looking for a mate. We've also been drier in the past month. We have gotten some rain, thankfully, but that is something that Bone tells me also has the gators out more because they're looking for some water. So make sure that you're cautious and always aware of your surroundings. Reporting live at Gatorland, Stephanie Rodriguez, News 6.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Likewise, we're not the ones standing in a gator's mouth right now.
I know.
Stephanie, thank you.
Yeah,
That's some
looks
really
very
interesting
calm.
stuff.
Yeah. That was it's so nostalgic seeing that because I remember the original. Rest in
Yes.
peace,
Yeah.
R.I.P. It
Oh,
burnt
man.
down back in the day, but it's nice that they built that and put that back there.
It's a great place.
And have you guys ever done the zip line over the gators?
No, I haven't. I think I'll pass on that.
Pass. I do. I'll watch people do it. I'm not gonna. Today, though, if anything like that, theme parks,
Yeah.
Gatorland, good time to do it in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Not so much in the afternoon.
Not so much the afternoon.
Yeah.
The afternoon will be dipping and dodging.
Yeah, it's funny. So, quick story. When I was at Gatorland a couple weeks ago for Alessia's birthday,
Right.
she asked to do the zip line,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh no, they don't let kids at your age
Yeah.
go." And this one mom
Lies.
goes, "No, that's not true." I'm like, "Shh."
Breaking mom code here.
Hello?
White lies are okay.
Yeah, it was
Shut your
funny.
mouth right now.
Yeah, Alessia looked at me like,
She saw right through you.
Got the
I
side eye
got
all
caught
day.
big time. So I guess I'll be going back to Gatorland for a zip line soon. No, they do. I'm like, what are you doing? You should know this by now, Mom, other mom. Speaking of moms, Mother's Day, that's coming up this weekend. I know the weather, you're going to see it here on the 7 day. It's not going to look great. Okay, but it's going to be mostly into the afternoon hours, not so much during the morning. So maybe brunch and whatnot. I don't think we're going to be dodging rain in the first few hours of your Sunday. It's going to be more of the tail end of the day, like it has been for the past several days. Looking here at the severe weather risk, we are still under a level 2 out of 5 when it comes to severity, meaning that lightning, wind, rain, all of that will be a big player in the forecast for today. Can't rule out the chance of a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. As of right now, although tornado risk is not a big concern, it's still worth a mention because where we get the collision of those sea breezes, we could get one of those quick spin ups. So of course, making sure that you're staying weather aware, the News 6 weather app, it's a great option. You enable those notifications. So if you're out and about and weather is threatening your area, you'll be alerted immediately. Looking at those temperatures out the door, we're in these upper 60s, the low 70s as we take you here hour by hour, nearing 90 today, feeling hotter because of humidity, and then the rain chances will start to surge. So will that risk of strong to severe storms. So clouds and rain forecast still bubbling up, a couple of those scattered showers by about 2-3 o'clock. Then as we head into the afternoon, notice that the reds and the orange and purples really start to kind of become a bit more widespread across our inland zones. Hopefully you guys in our coastal communities in Brevard County get some rain as well. But most of the models still picking up some more action as late as about 10-11 o'clock this evening. So that's going to be the story Friday, Saturday, and into Mother's Day. Then this upper level low we'll start to tap into all of that. You see all of that moisture blowing up there in the Gulf of Mexico. It's not anything tropical, but it's certainly going to be wet, and that's what's going to arrive Monday afternoon. Look at the surge that most of our models are picking up, bringing with it even more rain into the forecast, and then we'll start turning a drier corner come Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's look ahead for your Mother's Day forecast. You can see most of the rain will really start up in the afternoon, really into the evening hours with temperatures into those mid-80s. Rainfall rates between Mother's Day and Monday, we could tack on an additional 3 to 5 inches, even some isolated amounts that we could add another 5 to 7 inches to the rain gauges already. Then as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, we will start to see more sunshine. So you say, yay, a nice little dry spot. Problem is, after Thursday, though, we're going to start tapping into much hotter weather because of the lack of rain. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
408 right now, kind of a ghost town. We'll keep it that way out by Pine Hills. Things nice and clear, looking westbound. Nice and smooth this morning. You can see, though, it is the roadway very dark, meaning it is kind of moist out there. So take it nice and easy, please, when you're coming to those traffic lights, and especially when you're entering and exiting those ramps. Osceola Parkway here at Simpson. We do have a crash just came out, but the delay is not there. It's further south there at Buenaventura. So that crash really not affecting us. And then the delay went away over the county line between Volusia and Seminole. But when we had that earlier crash this morning at the 96 close to Lake Mary, that kind of settled us in there this morning. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. It is a growing need for families here in Central Florida.
At the bottom of the hour, the center that's helping children with autism get the support they need close to home.
First, though, a warning for parents of teen drivers. What a study found about the age of the car they drive and the risk of being involved in a crash. A new consumer alert this morning when it comes to the types of cars teens are driving.
Yeah, it turns out the age of the automobile may be making a big difference when it comes to crashes. A new study found that the older the car, the higher risk drivers have of dying in a collision. Researchers found that vehicles 6 to 15 years old had a 19% greater risk of being involved in a deadly wreck. After 15 years, that number jumps to 31%. Researchers say it all comes down to the tech and safety equipment found in newer cars, including driver assist. So teens, write this down when you want a new car from your parents. Just letting you know. Also new this morning, Igloo has expanded its recall of rolling coolers over fears that they could leave owners with injuries. The recall offers thousands of additional Igloo 90-quart flip-and-tow rolling coolers. More than 1 million were already recalled in February. Igloo says the tow handle can pinch users' fingers against the cooler, causing injuries and potentially amputation. If you have one of the recalled coolers, go ahead and contact Igloo for a free replacement handle. New details surrounding a shooting in the middle of a Port Orange Walgreens.
At the bottom of the hour, what we're learning about the suspect and the gunfire that left 2 workers hurt.
Plus, a local pastor arrested on child sex crime charges, what he's accused of doing to 2 girls and why police worry there could be more victims. You're watching News 6 Mornings. Stay with us.
Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos taking a live look outside Daytona Beach right now, holding at 69. The rest of Central Florida still mild, still muggy out there. The roads are a little wet still after some of that late night rain we had. Another weather alert day is back on tap across Central Florida, starting up about 4 or 5 o'clock, lingering as late as about 10 o'clock this evening. Rinse and repeat weather forecast throughout Saturday, including Mother's Day. Not a washout, just active in the afternoon, and then finally drying out by the end of next week. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
No excuse because it's not raining inside, so you have plenty of reason to do something nice, right? All right, we do have a crash Osceola Parkway at Simpson, causing some northbound delays out there on Simpson. Be careful. Our major highways, though, we look great across Central Florida. 408 looking good this morning, just west there of downtown downtown Orlando. Do have a crash appears off of Edgewater out there by All American, and outside running smooth. The news continues next. We'll get updates on any of our big stories. Click Orlando.com.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AK Certified Roofing. Streaming on clickorlando.com and broadcasting live, you're watching News 6.
Time now is 7:30. Let's get a check of our top stories. Sanford police are looking for more possible victims after the arrest of a pastor. They say Yerson Basto sexually abused 2 juvenile victims at the Pentecostal church where he worked on South Orlando Drive.
Local school districts are warning students not to attempt the latest TikTok challenge. It involves sticking metal objects into their school computer USB ports, which could cause sparks or start a fire.
And Leo XIV presided over his first Mass as Pope this morning. The Chicago native, Cardinal Robert Prevost, is the first American to lead the Roman Catholic Church, and its nearly 1.5 billion followers.
And turning now to the forecast. It's looking good outside, quiet, mild, but things are going to ramp up later today.
You can kind of feel when you walk outside that it will be a weather alert day, just that humidity. It seems ripe. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos with those details.
I've trained you well.
Yes.
Yes.
Young
yes.
Padawan.
Yes. Listen, it is certainly muggy out there. There is tons of humidity in place. So as the east and west coast sea breeze come together, it has so much moisture to work with that it will be developing some of those strong, intense storms as well. That is why today, although it doesn't look like it right now, it's a nice quiet start. It is a weather alert day. So if you're planning on enjoying the theme parks, whether you're going to be taking mom out to the theme parks this weekend, just make sure to plan the outside stuff done early because 1, it's not as hot, and 2, won't be as stormy. Rain chances, though, for today back up to about a 70%. More towards the late afternoon and early evening hours could hold in the storm chance till about as late as 10. So because of that, we do have a weather alert day. Heavy rain, hail, damaging winds. We're talking frequent lightning. Even the possibility of a rotating storm still is in the forecast. Speaking of rotating, there's this big upper level low in the atmosphere. It's going to be tapping into all this moisture in the Gulf as it moves across the northern Gulf. And that is going to be surging in another big chance for rain as we head into your Monday. So again, today, tomorrow, Sunday, most likely will all be weather alert days. We'll take it day by day, though. And then as we head into Monday, we're talking about a big dose of rain before we start trending much drier. Once we start zapping out the rain, we've got a whole lot of heat to talk about. We'll have more details on your Mother's Day forecast. Timing of today's rain coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
I think the best part is if I told my mom, hey, we're going to the theme park, she'd be like, you're going to the theme park. It's just like, not happening. Okay, it looks like we're starting to see some northbound delays now along Simpson as you approach Osceola Parkway. This is north of Buenaventura. Please be careful because you're going to clear that delay along Buenaventura and then you're going to run into it again. So just be cautious for me this morning. No crashes on 408, nothing to be concerned about on the east or west side. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. A crime alert out of Sanford where a pastor is facing some serious charges. He's accused of sexually abusing 2 young girls, and police say the victims were members of his church. News 6's Mark Lehman following the latest live on this. Authorities are concerned more victims will come forward, Mark.
Yeah, they believe more victims may possibly be out there because investigators say this pastor used his position to take advantage of young members of this church. Now, if there was a sign out here, it's since been taken down and there are curtains covering the windows. This is where detectives say the crimes happened. 33-year-old Yerson Solarte was arrested yesterday. The pastor of the Ipul Pentecostal Church was taken into custody in Virginia while believed to be on a family trip. Solarte is facing sexual battery and molestation charges after allegations surfaced that he assaulted 2 girls. The first report was made on April 10th. Investigators say the encounters happened at the church, which is in the back corner of the shopping center off of 1792 near State Road 417. Detectives say Solarte inappropriately touched 2 young members of the church and sexually assaulted one of the victims. He's since been removed from his role as pastor. After the arrest, San Sanford Police Chief Cecil Smith released a statement saying in part, "We pray there aren't any additional people who have been victimized by this man. If anyone has information about these crimes or other victims, come forward and help protect our children. And anyone who does have info or feels they may have been victimized is urged to call police or crime line." As for Solarte, right now he's in the process of being extradited from Virginia and will eventually be booked at the Seminole County Jail. Live in Sanford, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thanks. New this morning, the sheriff's office now says a woman killed by deputies after a knife attack in Orange County was just 19 years old. We brought you this as breaking news yesterday after the violent encounter at an apartment complex on Titleist Court. Deputies say when they arrived, they heard Vanessa Eugene screaming before she began attacking deputies with a knife, forcing them to open fire. Eugene later died from her injuries. The deputies who fired their weapons are now on leave while the FDLE investigates, which is standard procedure.
Newly released 911 calls are giving us a frantic look into a deadly shooting at a Walgreens in Port Orange. Customers and employees called for help Wednesday after police say a disgruntled customer walked in and opened fire. Police say 60-year-old Daniel Asif shot 2 employees, then ran out the store and took his own life in the parking lots.
You said the pharmacist is shot?
Yes, shots fired. He's bleeding. I think he shot 3 times. Okay, we have 2 people shot.
One employee was shot in the foot and has been released. The other, who was hit in the abdomen, is still in the hospital.
This morning, the world's 1.4 billion Catholics now have a new leader. Chicago-born Cardinal Robert Prevost was announced as the new Pope Leo XIV yesterday. This morning, he led his first mass with cardinals as the new leader. As Tina Kraus reports from the Vatican, reaction is pouring in over the surprise pick, including from his family back here in the U.S.
Joy and anticipation in St. Peter's Square this morning as Pope Leo XIV led his first Mass with cardinals at the Sistine Chapel.
Fratres agnoscamus peccata nostra.
The white smoke billowing from the chapel chimney on day 2 of the conclave Thursday revealed the historic election. Soon after, Cardinal Robert Prevost appeared on the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square as the first American-born pope.
Oh my God, it's Rob.
The election of the 69-year-old Chicago native surprised even his own siblings.
You know how some kids like to play war and be soldiers? He wanted to play priest.
And we just teased, you're going to be the Pope.
Pope Leo XIV is the first pontiff from the Augustinian order, and the heart of that group came through in his first blessing as he urged people to build bridges, embrace dialogue, and show compassion through charity. The new Bishop of Rome spent much of his life in Peru, even gaining citizenship. Friar Ramiro Castillo describes him as a simple, quiet person. In the U.S., the reaction to the first American pontiff has been anything but quiet. From the White House.
That's a great honor.
To Prevost's alma mater, Villanova University.
I heard the bells, and it was just a really surreal experience.
In Chicago, a friendly battle between the 2 hometown baseball clubs, both claiming the new pope as a fan. Tina Kraus, CBS News, the Vatican.
And back here at home, a special mass is being planned today in gratitude for the new Pope's election. It's going to be held at noon at Mary Queen of the Universe. That's on Vineland Avenue in Orlando.
New this morning, deputies have arrested an Osceola County code enforcement officer allegedly caught stealing a package from a home in St. Cloud. This is a still here from surveillance video, which shows Vanessa Ramon. Investigators say that she took a box with a $600 phone inside from a property on Maple Tree Lane back in April. As you can see, she's wearing that uniform, also driving a county truck. When detectives say she tossed the box into the bed and drove off. She is now charged with felony grand theft.
Nearly 2 years after Governor DeSantis suspended Orange Osceola State Attorney Monique Worrell, a former top staffer is getting a $40,000 settlement. Worrell's chief of staff, Keisha Mulford, was fired while on maternity leave back in 2023. Mulford says she was home with her newborn when staff and deputies showed up to take back state property, something she says was handled without respect or warning.
Should have made arrangements. That would have been a respectful thing to do. I am here with my 10-week-old daughter.
That was cell phone video Mulford recorded on the day those employees showed up unannounced at her home. The state denies any wrongdoing, but agreed to pay Mulford to settle the lawsuit. She now works in the private sector.
It's that time of year again with hurricane season right around the corner. It starts June 1st. Florida Power and Light held its annual storm drill yesterday, simulating a real-life response to a hurricane. FPNL says it's been reinforcing power poles, burying more electrical lines, and investing in new technology to restore power faster. We appreciate them every single time a storm comes through, acting quickly, trying to get that power back on. Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos joins us now. We have a weather alert day on our hands. Is there any chance that power could be knocked out with what we could expect today?
Yeah, our lights flickered yesterday for a little bit. It went out and then it came right back on. So, it's not just an issue only during the hurricane season, but as we get these continuous afternoon thunderstorms, there will be the chance, especially as we start talking about damaging wind gusts, upwards of about 55, 60 mile per hour winds, gusts, by the way, not sustained. There will be that potential of some downed trees, some down kind of interrupting power. I wouldn't say down power lines and things like that, but certainly that is something we will be obviously talking about in the near future, unfortunately. Let's look at the lightning tracker over the next couple of hours. Doesn't look too impressive as of about 4 o'clock, but then we'll start to see the blow up of rain and storms throughout the afternoon. That is going to be one of the many hazards that we're going to be talking about that could linger as late as about 10 o'clock. We do have a weather alert day for today between about that 4 and 10 o'clock time frame. Then as we head into early next week, we're going to be watching this area of low pressure tapping into a lot of moisture, and that's going to be keeping things very unsettled today, tomorrow, but especially by early next week. So if you're trying to maybe enjoy the beach, whether it's for Mother's Day weekend or for today, you should have a nice few hours in the morning. It's going to be more of an afternoon play with, once again, keeping your eyes to the west. That is where the rain and storms will be pushing through. And because we have more of that southwest breeze, our rip current risk won't be as high this weekend. But still, swim by your left card. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
All right, I've been watching this just quietly over at my desk, and it just upgraded. I knew something was going on here. This is going to be Edgewater Drive at All American. This is just up the road here from our office, believe it or not, west there of 434 Forest City. This is now a fatal crash investigation, and the roadway of Edgewater, both directions, completely shut down. Just got some information, vehicle versus pedestrian, and a pedestrian was struck and died at the hospital. So this area is going to be shut down for quite some time. Yesterday, out on patrol, speaking all about pedestrian safety, we were out at Orange Blossom Trail looking at the infrastructure that they have in place. You can head to clickorlando.com and check that out. And then today, come on and join me on a Friday. It's unfortunate we do have a crash like this, but squeaky wheel gets the oil, and we're going to be talking about pedestrian safety up on Reinhardt, where some of the crosswalks there rather large, some small. Join me today at 10 a.m. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. 7:42 now. New data shows a growing number of kids in the U.S. are now on the autism spectrum.
It's driving a big increase in demand for autism therapy. Coming up, the local center getting families the help they need to make everyday breakthroughs. New data from the CDC shows 1 in every 31 kids in the U.S. is somewhere on the autism spectrum. That's a record high.
And it's leading to an increased demand for more autism therapy resources. New this morning, News 6 anchor Bridget Ellison shows us the help one local mom is receiving to put her son on a path to success.
Yes, he is submitting me.
About 2 years ago, Sasha Biloli noticed her son Enzo was having trouble reaching his milestones. After being diagnosed with autism, he started therapy a few hours per week to help develop stronger communication skills.
So his challenge is communication still. So he still doesn't tell me like, hey, I want juice. Like he uses different forms of communication, but the goal is for him to say it.
Move your body. 6 months ago, Enzo started intensive therapy at Florida Autism Center, which is 30 or more hours per week. And Mom says it has significantly improved his skills.
Yeah, so it's like the little things that matter. So it's like when I ask him questions, he replies yes or no. Like before, he never said anything.
With 39 locations across the state, Florida Autism Centers help meet a growing demand for autism therapy.
They work on individualized goals, and those can range from communication skills to social skills, play skills, imitation.
The center also works with caregivers to reinforce what the children are learning there at home, monitor progress, and gradually adjust goals as the child's skills improve.
We want that child to be able to go eventually to a classroom where they can maintain the skills they've learned here, to go into the community, to perform the skills at home with their caregivers. And we want to make meaningful impacts for their lives.
Bye, Enzo. Bye.
Helping Enzo and many other children achieve everyday successes.
He motivates me every day. Whenever he does something new, I'm like, oh, that's good, you know.
Bridget Ellison, News 6.
Now, if you want some help on how to detect early signs of autism and to see the resources available at the Florida Autism Center, we have posted all that information for you online. Just look for the story right on the homepage of clickorlando.com.
With less than a month until the start of hurricane season, the acting FEMA administrator has been let go. A spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security declined to say why Cameron Hamilton was removed, but the announcement came just a day after Hamilton publicly disagreed with the Trump administration, telling lawmakers he doesn't support dismantling the agency. Hamilton was originally appointed by Trump, but was reportedly escorted from the agency's headquarters yesterday.
A church in East Texas cleaning up after an unexpected intruder broke in this week. The church says a goat got a little agitated after seeing its own reflection in a glass door. So the goat rammed right through it, went wild inside, trotting around the pews and across the stage. A worker ended up catching it by the horns, but the goat shook free, bolted into some woods. The church is estimating the goat caused $1,600 in damage, too.
Talk about, seizing the day and grabbing the day by the horns.
Yeah, sure.
We'll say a little pray for you.
Yeah.
I was going to add a third one, but
Go ahead.
Do it.
No hanging fruit, just do it.
We're streaming.
Just
Go
streaming.
for it.
It's like it's so mad.
Yeah.
There we go.
But no.
Okay, come on.
You gotta own it.
I can't even look at you guys right now because I'm so embarrassed by that.
Let's talk about the weather forecast. Listen, it's going to be a bad weather forecast for today. See? There you go. See?
Justin didn't
have one. Yeah, he did. He took it for both. All right, unsettled weather forecast, still kind of stormy out there. We are designating today a weather alert day. And we put these designations out there, not because there's an official warning or anything, but because we're looking at an increasing level for a severe weather threat. So with that being said, do I think it's going to be a washout of a day? No, not by any means. We're going to have a nice couple dry hours. Albeit it's going to be hot, it's just going to start really storming into the afternoon and evening hours. So rinse and repeat, literally. Although the location of the rain and storms might differ just a bit, the timing is going to be pretty similar. The reason for this unsettled weather is because we have this cold front. It's not coming here. Don't get excited. It's going to stay to the north, and it's going to keep us on the very kind of wet and soggy side. So as we look ahead, this is how the weather will be impacting you. Weather alert day today most likely will be issued for your Saturday and Sunday as well, but we'll take that one day by day. And then as we head into Mother's Day, once again, it's going to be kind of dicey into the afternoon. So if you're gonna be hanging out with mom and celebrating her in the afternoon, just make sure to have some indoor plans. But then by Monday, this is the snapshot, by the way, of Monday, as we are watching basically all that moisture in the Gulf surge through central Florida, and that's going to increase our concern for flooding just because of how much rain we've already seen this week. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for your finally Friday. We're nearing 90 degrees today. Rain chances, though, again, trending up after about 4 or 5 o'clock, up to about a 60 to 70% chance for the rain and storms. So let's show you here on our in-house model, just updated a few minutes ago. You can still see the bright reds and purples start popping up a little more widespread a little later into the day, as late as about 7 to 8 o'clock along the I-4 corridor, pushing from west to east. Could hold on to some strong storms late into the evening for tonight. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas, he is back, and we'll be pinpointing more of that. Then as that low moves in by late Sunday and into Monday, look at the sheer amount of moisture it's going to be bringing into central Florida, which is why rain chances, you can see come Monday, will be up to about 40%. Once that clears, you notice rain chances will be dropping off pretty quickly come Tuesday. So let's show you more of a zoomed in. This is not just moisture, this is our rain chances as we head into Monday afternoon. Quite a swath of rain throughout the late day on Monday and into early Tuesday morning. Could have some severe weather embedded within that, especially depending on where that low officially tracks. But as it finally clears out, we'll turn a drier corner. But that's not until we dump even more rain. Many of the models picking up between an additional 3 to 5 inches of rainfall. Could see some isolated maximum amounts up to about 7 inches potentially under some of those slow moving storms. So Saturday and Sunday, I know it looks really wet and crummy, but again, you do have a few hours to enjoy the outdoors. And then as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, if you're looking for a nice little dry slot, that is where we will see it by the end of the week and into next weekend. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your News 6 traffic update.
We do have a fatal crash this morning that just came out a little while ago, so unfortunately we're ending our Friday with this. This is the Edgewater Drive at All American Boulevard. So this is just west here of Forest City. The roadway is shut down. So based off of what FHP said, vehicle versus pedestrian, pedestrian was killed via this crash, so all lanes are now blocked out here. You're going to be detoured around this, so do avoid this. I would say probably the next 3 to 4 hours. Once this opens up, as long as you got the News 6 app, you'll get a push alert and we'll let you know. I-4 though looks good pretty much wherever you're at. Here at Dirksen, all clear. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Steve. A new inclusive playground is raising safety concerns for parents. Why the city is moving quickly to put up a fence. Next. A new fence is coming to a Palm Bay park to protect kids near the water. We first told you about this story last month after parents raised some concerns About a playground designed for kids with special needs that was built just steps away from a large pond at Fred Poppy Park. City officials now tell us money for a fence is going to be submitted in the next budget request.
I feel like there's always that chance, though. What if it's that 1 second anything can happen? So, you turn your back, something happens, especially if you have more than one kid.
While the fence is included in next year's budget request, city officials say they're also looking for money right now to get it built sooner.
New in your health headlines, pediatric flu deaths in the U.S. just reached their highest level in more than a decade. The CDC says at least 216 kids died from the flu this past season, which is the most since 2009. Health experts say a big reason for the high number is that more people haven't gotten their flu shot. Vaccination rates have dropped since the pandemic, but the CDC still recommends everyone over 6 months get a flu shot every year.
If you love cinnamon, you might want to pay attention. New research is suggesting that cinnamon could mess with some prescription drugs. A study in food chemistry molecular sciences found that the main component in cinnamon can affect how medicines are processed in your body. Experts are still looking into it, but until they know more, they say it is a good idea to talk to your doctor if you're thinking about adding or taking cinnamon supplements. And don't worry, experts say a little cinnamon in that coffee or food should still be fine. Candace.
Cinnamon supplement.
Cinnamon supplement.
That ain't easy. Good job. All right, weather alert day for today. We are talking about the timing between 4 and 10 o'clock this evening. Main impacts just like yesterday. We saw plenty of that. We saw reports of hail, those strong wind gusts, as well as the heavy downpours, the lightning. Could even have the low-end risk of a rotating storm just where the sea breezes collide. So you can see here, clouds and rain forecast. Not a lot to track. By about 2, 3 o'clock, this looks like more of an kind of late afternoon, early evening play here. You can see how widespread some of these rain and storm chances will be for today. Coverage goes up to about 70%. Those dark purples, though, indicating some of those heavier rain bands in the forecast for this afternoon. Do expect kind of a rinse and repeat weather forecast. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, pretty good likelihood we're going to designate those weather alert days, but we like to take those day by day. Then as we head into Monday, could also be a weather alert day. We're talking a big surge of moisture coming through. And then once we're done with that, we're going to start turning a much drier corner. We will start to feel more of that heat, though, as we don't have the rain to really cool us off. So just do be aware of that as you plan your Mother's Day forecast. Indoor options later in the day. Steve.
Fatal crash right now off of Edgewater Drive. Edgewater Drive is completely shut down right now off of All American. This is a vehicle versus pedestrian. Expect it closed for the next 3 to 4 hours.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And thank you for joining us. We break news on clickorlando.com.
You can also find all of our stories on our new 6 Plus app for your TV.
Hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. And happy Mother's Day.